Welcome back to the roundtable. My guest this evening is Mr. Asanga Senuratne, a director and CEO of Asia Capital, expert in the stock market business and also expert in fund management and wealth management areas of financial services. Now we're talking about the brokerage fee that is in Sri Lanka market, which turns out to be one of the highest rates in the world. So he gave his opinion with regard to the suggestion to bring down the commission rate. Now, another aspect of the brokering business in Sri Lanka is, Mr. Senuratne, there is somewhat bone of contention with regard to broker ethics. This has often been the case. For instance, certain brokering companies go completely out of way and indulge in unethical practices such as kickbacks, also what you call in your term the churning issue, where you pull somebody else's money and roll on that money, and well, you really do not direct the investor in the right path. So in that context, do you agree that there are certain ethical issues in the market?
I think in any industry, especially in industries such as the stock market, you will have these issues. It's how you manage it, and it's also education, and it's also surveillance, and how we regulate the market. I think the SEC and the stock exchange have done a very good job in regulating the market. I mean, there are fortnightly audits, there's a monthly audit, plus there is also surveillance which takes place on a daily basis by both parties. So if something is amiss, it should flag up quite quickly. So I think in that way the Colombo market is one of the most regulated markets in the world, I would say. Secondly, talking about churning out client funds, the stock market is not a place for the faint-hearted and people who are not aware of what it really is. I mean, you first have to get yourself educated as to what happens there, and how you should invest. Most of the companies have very good research outfits. There's a lot of literature available as to the companies, the outlooks, what's happening, the forecasts, and also the quarterly and the yearly financials which are out on a regular basis. The SEC ensures that. So investor should take precautions. He should first get to know his broker. It's very important to have a good relationship with a decent broker, who you have to make a call whether he's honest or how he's going to be, and then go with him. And I think there are a lot of good guys in the market. Most of the people in the top 5 or 10 companies have been in the industry for 15-20 years. So Mahesh, we have a good group of people, professionals, who are there to help clients along.
What you're trying to say is like the whistleblowing is sufficient to regulate the brokerage industry in Sri Lanka.
Whistleblowing is basically if somebody has some information and he divulges that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that with the daily surveillance, if a stock moves more than 5% or 2%, it flags immediately. And so the SEC and the stock exchange, they both have their own units who check on what's happening, and then they investigate as to who has bought the shares and what the reason is, and they sometimes even write and find out. They come to the office and find out. So it's very tough for someone to do something underhand and not get flagged.
Now, you also stated about the requirement of having proper research systems, because your business hinge on research and analysis, through which that you can advise your fund managers or you can advise the clients. So in that light, can you be content with the research and analytical practices that we adopt by the Sri Lankan brokering company? Is it sufficient? Are they really meaningful? Are they really taking the true indices, true variables in the market?
I can only talk for my company and ourselves. We were initially set up by Indoswez WICA, our partners in Hong Kong. Our guys were trained by them in Hong Kong, and all the systems that were set in was world class. And we got a lot of awards in Southeast Asia at that time I don't know whether those awards still exist, but we've been rated very highly, and we continuously are training people and looking for more quality sort of analysts to take on, and we are totally focused on research-driven products. You can't deal with the bigger companies, the bigger fund managers, if you don't have a top-class, world-class research unit. So research is a priority for us, and I think it's very similar to the top 4 or 5 other broking houses in Sri Lanka. I think we have some very good analysts.
The stock market is currently on a rollout, and the momentum of the Sri Lankan stock market is snowballing, given the fact that aftermath of the war, the attention from the outside world of the global fund managers have been so much high. For instance, when SEC had investor forum about a month or 2 months ago in Singapore, there was huge response. So the response is there, and it is going to be very, very promising. In this context, the stock market is also, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, is also taking certain measures to push the industry into the next level. One such move is that they talk about is demutualization of the stock market. What is your opinion with regard to this? How timely is demutualization?
Well, I think it's overdue. Demutualization was first brought on in early 2000, and I think it was all set to go in around 2005 when Dr. Dayanath Jayasundara was chairman. And then after that, there was a sudden pullback by the SEC. So they really need to get the ball rolling on demutualization, because what it will do, Mahesh, is it will increase the level of accountability of the Colombo Stock Exchange. Because at the moment the Colombo Stock Exchange is a sleeping giant. Yes, they're doing a decent job, but they could do a lot better, and I think with demutualization you'll have the stakeholders really controlling the board, pushing management to deliver. So I think that's crucial for development of our capital markets, and I hope the SEC will move quickly.
So, in your opinion, demutualization will definitely augur well for the Colombo stock market?
Absolutely, because then there are stakeholders, there are shareholders. Management have to come and explain at annual general meeting as to what's going to happen. There are constant visits by investors. The pressure is on. At the moment there is no pressure, and not much seems to be happening.
So when the demutualization will be announced, that will your company have a special interest in becoming a
we all have a stake, and that's one way of getting back some of the effort that's been put in over a period of 20 years. It's a long time. So I mean, yes, definitely we have a fairly large stake, and we also hope to be part of the stock exchange in the future. So I don't think that we're looking to take the stake and dispose or do anything like that, but just to be able to play a more active role, and to ensure that management is accountable.
Well, your company was the first to introduce the first ever online trading system known as SIDAX that turned out to be a huge success. Could you tell us what motivated you to introduce the online trading system to Sri Lanka?
Yeah, in 1998 I was invited to an online trading conference in New York, and at that time it was, not even available in the US. They were just setting it up. And it really interested me, because one thing that the Colombo Stock Exchange lacked was trading terminals. It was really strange in those days. Each broking house had a maximum of 5 terminals. So that meant only 5 people could actually be on a terminal. And I just felt that was really silly, and it really didn't make any sense, because we had like 30-40 brokers, and there were groups of people over one computer. So online trading was the way to go, and immediately I was attracted to it, and we started developing our own. And I must say, we launched SIDAX even before the Singapore Stock Exchange was online, and we have a very successful system. 8 brokers use the system, even though we ourselves are a broker. SEDAX is an independent company, and we do our own advertising, and today we do over 30% of all trades on the Colombo Stock Exchange. So that's phenomenal, and I think we have over 3,000 to 4,000 people logged in on a daily basis, and we have over 7,000 or 8,000 registered SEDAX users.
Well, that's a story about how the online trading system known as SEDAX came to Sri Lanka, which was actually introduced by the Asia Capital Group, for that matter by Asia Securities, was it?
That's right,
Asia Securities, and also where Mr. Asanga Senuratne personally took some interest in bringing down this state-of-the-class SEDAX platform, SEDAX system to Sri Lanka. With that, I will now take a short break.